This show is powered by BL3P, the Lightning-enabled European Bitcoin exchange.
Spojte svět dohromady.
Jared Nusinoff, founder of MASH from Canada.
Carving through the rugged stone and dazzling forest of the Canadian Shield, it hides one of the best-kept secrets in Manitoba. Not only do the wild, remote waters appeal to thrill-seekers and whitewater enthusiasts, but the solitude and beauty found on the Pigeon River demands a trip from all avid paddlers. Are you already physically and mentally prepared for your next paddle adventure?
Yes.
Do you know that the very first Canadian UFC event was held in Montreal at the Bell Centre on April 19th in 2008?
Yes.
The Wire is an American crime drama television series created and primarily written by the author and former police reporter David Simon. The series is lauded for its literary themes, its uncommonly accurate exploration of society and politics, and its realistic portrayal of urban life. Are you aware that the character Cheese is performed by Method Man?
Yes.
There are over 1,000 dim sum dishes available, which are usually eaten as breakfast or brunch. Cantonese dim sum has a very broad range of flavors, textures, cooking styles and ingredients. Do you know that the tea you drink with it is very important? So much so that it's considered just as important as the food itself?
No.
Flor de Caña is renowned as one of the best rums from Latin America, having won more than 150 international awards since 2000, and has been most award-winning rum brand during this period. Is this your biggest temptation?
No.
Slow cooking my first brisket took more than 15 hours.
Yes.
I will travel to Amsterdam in October to visit Bitcoin Conference 2022.
No.
The band was a Canadian-American rock band formed in Toronto, Ontario in 1967. Did you know that in the 1960s the group was formerly known as the Hawks, who accompanied Bob Dylan's first concert with an electric band?
Yes.
Benoit B. Mandelbrot was a Polish-born French-American mathematician and polymath. He referred to himself as a fractalist and is recognized for his contribution to the field of fractal geometry, which included coining the word fractal, as well as developing a theory of roughness and self-similarity in nature. Do you consider yourself a fractalist?
Yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
We are all Satoshi Nakamoto.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 37 of Connected World. Steph, how are you?
Good to see you, Edward, again.
Yeah, indeed.
How are you doing, my friends?
I'm doing fine. It's a little bit less warm, and
it's pretty nice now, right?
I'm prepared now, so that's better.
Okay.
You don't want to see my feet, no.
No, but I'm still using my ventilator just to be sure. But it's nice.
How's your computer?
Well, it feels fine. I mean, it's still a bit warm, but not that hot as it can get. So it's also nice within this room. So yeah, man.
All right.
I think better outside also. So, but next week, prepare yourself, Edward, because it's getting very hot again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw the news and. Yeah, I think
it's better if you don't have anything to do. Then you can just relax. So perhaps I'm gonna take some days to relax. But we are so busy, Edward. Yeah, that's indeed what I'm noticing. That you're busy at the warm days, and then when it's cooler, then you're free.
But I can tell you that a nice cold beer can cool you off. So
That's you're right. I have my water cool, but I'm going to enjoy the beer later. I have to
Great.
drive still, so
Okay, no problem, mate.
yeah, I'm only here for recording, so I'm going to do my utmost, and then I'm just going to relax.
Nice.
Hey, and in October, when Bitcoin Amsterdam is there, I also hope for some good weather, because then we can also stay in the city outside.
Yeah,
Something that would be really nice.
would be cool. Yeah.
So but mostly in October it's still good weather. So I think it will be okay.
Let's hope so, mate.
Yeah, indeed. Because Bitcoin Europe, Amsterdam is not the only one, because I saw a lot of conferences this end of this year.
Mhm.
And there is someone, I'm gonna put a link in the show notes on Twitter. Pavlenex, he shared an amazing list. Everybody can add to that list, of course, of all the conferences. It's really Bitcoin only. It's so many. I see November 3, October 2, September 2, August 1. Oh, Surfing Bitcoin. I cannot go, but that is really one that I really like, because
it's in the north of Spain, right?
Yeah,
or
the north of France.
Yeah, I think the south of France, is it, right?
It's Biarritz, I think. Yeah,
okay,
so it's the south. Yeah, Biarritz. And it just it really is shouting. Have to come. No, it sounds nice.
Yeah, nice. But we will put a link in the show notes. Obviously, we are very looking forward to Bitcoin Amsterdam.
Of course.
Also to make some nice content for you guys, for the listeners and viewers. Obviously. And who do we have today, Edward? We have Jared, obviously, from Mesh. And I would like to ask you, Edward, because I think we already mentioned it in our previous episode, but we teamed up with the guys from Mesh, and we integrated their servers into our own website.
Indeed.
But it was still in beta, and it still is in beta, obviously. But maybe you can show our viewers in this case, and I think everyone who is now listening on Spotify or your other favorite podcasting app, you should definitely have a check at YouTube at our video, because Edward is showing some magic now. He's going to show some magic now.
It's good that we're doing it now, because in 21 minutes you just want to ask questions.
Sure.
This is the site. TDM.news is the quick link, but you can go to connecttheworld.live and then hit the Daily Moon. And you see a lot of articles. Every guest that has been on the show, we have transcriptions, questions, answers. But we also record, and that's going to be new, after talk. So after the recording, we just keep talking. And
that's where all the secrets are told, right?
Yeah, and I remember one where you started off with something very funny. So if everybody is curious, then just check them all. Really, no, really, it's just more loosen up. You have to 21 minutes is so strict.
Yeah, right.
And then afterwards is more relaxing. So. Yeah. And what was it again, Steph?
We have the website over here. You can maybe click on an article.
Yeah, I'm going to click.
You can show the people. So Edward, for the people who are listening, not viewing our episode, Edward is now opening a page within the website, which includes an article written by Bastien Tenturier, or it is practically the episode we recorded with him. So a little scoop, because I think... you guys didn't knew that he is featuring in one of our next episodes, but he is. And we've put all the info within an article, and you can read it now at the website using Mesh. So you have to make a Mesh account, but it's really, really simple. Just put in your email address, I guess, and then you can deposit sats or even some fiat money. I know all of you guys will use Satoshis, of course. But if you use fiat money, Mesh will convert it automatically to Satoshis for you. So that's also a way to use Mesh. And now, Edward, I can see that.
And it's still custodial, Steph, but in the future, that's going to change. So it's still custodial, but it's just fun to test it.
Yeah, but
and you see here a boost button.
Yeah, but you don't use a lot of sets, right? You don't
of course,
deposit a lot of sets. So
it's just
if it stays
a little
custodial, it isn't a big problem.
and you can set a limit. I talked to Jared in a quick talk earlier, so you can also check it out. And he explained also, I'm just going to hit the mesh button here for $4 on it. And you see here my $2 budget I set for the website. And then if I hit the read more button, then you can, thanks for your support. So I just paid and I can read the whole article.
That's nice.
This is really nice. And there is the extra. Oh. And you can play the movie. So 3 weeks in advance of publishing this episode, you can watch it and read it, the after talk.
Click on the boost button for us.
Oh, yeah. There. Boost. And
nice.
I just donated $5. This is so great. And the graphical design
cents, right? Or $5?
$5. Yeah.
You can make it $5. That was no problem.
No, of course. I'm just pushing it again. Come on.
So it was really nice, guys. So
this is great.
Yeah, this is I think
it really is
a small like view on the things that Mesh is producing, is providing. And again, we teamed up with the guys. So if you listen to this episode and you're very interested in the service they provide and just want to try it out, I think we are light years in front of what ahead of what of millions of people using it. But it's really nice to try. So I would say go to our website and try it out yourself, right, Edward?
Yeah, indeed.
Yes. Okay. So before we go to the interview with Mesh, with Jared from Mesh, we need to start to talk a little bit about statistics, Edward.
Yeah,
as always,
indeed,
and about our Rings of Fire community. So, and then the second part will be with Jared.
Yeah. Have fun, guys.
Conecta el mundo.
So, last week we had a little over 38.2 Bitcoin pushed into the Lightning Network. This week we added 7 million Satoshis. It's not a very big number, but still,
no.
I mean, 7 million Satoshis.
That's right.
I like to have 7 million Satoshis, right? So it's still a nice number. So now this week we are at 38.3 Bitcoin with around 1,323 members participating on over 173 rings. And, Edward, we surpassed 1,000 members within our Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire community. So,
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's really a lot.
And it's still increasing every week. So there's definitely no bear market within our community and not within the Lightning space because there's so much to work on, and it's nice to see that so many people are still interested in the techniques. We welcome you guys.
That's what we like, yeah. And the Lightning Network as a whole, we are now at block height 748,070. For those who just hear it and then forget it, we have here the numbers for the Lightning Network as a whole. More than 17,035 nodes with 4,392 Bitcoin in it. And the value of today, Steph?
Yeah, 1 million Satoshis is getting you $233, 227 euros, and 1,566 Chinese yuan.
And the funny thing is, it's almost the same as last week.
Connetti il mondo.
And then some highlighted news updates from last week, brought to you by the Daily Moon. Ebax Pay, let's start off with that one. It makes it possible to start accepting Bitcoin and Lightning payments with their payment terminals. And it's in the neighborhood of Brickell in Greater Downtown Miami, Florida, where they helped My Deli Market to start accepting Bitcoin. So that's really fun because there you can pay for all your local groceries. And Ebax Pay is also launching an interactive map to showcase all merchants. So keep checking their website and, of course, their Twitter for more info.
I think that's very important, by the way.
Yeah,
because
groceries.
I know that, No, I mean a map to showcase all the retailers.
Yeah,
obviously, also groceries because we still have to eat and drink.
You need them daily. but you're right.
An interactive map because that's what the guys from the Bitcoin Beach wallet also provided, and it's very useful because if me, for instance, if I'm going to Miami and I want to check out all these merchants, it can be a hell of a job to find them. And if someone like Ibex Pay is providing these interactive maps, it will be a lot more easier for me to. And obviously, I would like to pay for my groceries with Satoshi.
And living on a Bitcoin standard when on vacation, it's fun, I think.
Would be nice, yeah.
And there is also something interesting. We all want to be anonymous, as most anonymous as possible, of course. What if you could open 2 channels in a CoinJoin? Well, there was a first attempt in testnet, and it shows you can. I've put the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. And then Fiatjaf announced Poncho. It's a plugin that turns your core Lightning node into a hosted channel provider. He released it as an early alpha for testing purposes, so take care using it. Possibilities could be really great because it offers zero-cost channels to friends and family. And I think that's really interesting. There are a lot of more possibilities that it will give you. So read the link in the show notes for...
I really like the name, though. Poncho.
Yeah, Poncho. It's
Poncho.
Spanish. Well, yeah, he's from Brazil. So
yeah, Portuguese, right?
My poncho is a jacket. A very long, great... yeah. And then I hope they recorded it, but because it was today, so I hope this will be interesting for our listeners. Synonym hosted an interesting Twitter space discussion about the current limitations of the Lightning Network tech and how these can be improved in the future. And the lineup is very interesting because it's with John Carvalho of Synonym, Matt Corello of Spiral, Christian Decker from Blockstream, and Bastien Tenturier, which you just saw from Async.
Async. Yeah. But I was in the space, but it was last Friday, Edward. It was not today.
You were in... No. It showed today. Then
last Friday. But it was perfect. So I think they recorded it.
Okay.
So yeah. So
I
do you want to read
5 of August? Well, it's no problem.
Okay,
just check it out, man, and then listen to it.
Just check it out. And do you want to read more and stay up to date about everything related to Lightning, the news and updates? Then head over to TDM.news. Use Mesh and follow the Daily Moon on Twitter and Telegram. Links are in the show notes. And guys, please let us know if you are using Mesh. What is your experience? Because that's something we really wanted to know. We are testing it ourselves, but I mean it's our own product. I mean it's our own collaboration with Mesh, so we really like it, obviously. But it's more important what you guys think of it. So please let us know.
Indeed. Yeah.
Connectez le monde.
And then let's have a look at the rings forecast. We balanced 2 nice rings last week. It was the 3 million Satoshi's 21st ring. Turbo Tuesday, another day at the office for Turbo Bus again. What more can we say? Excellent preparation as we know him and balanced in no time. So thanks, Bussy. We had the 2 million Satoshi's 28th ring. And it was Bufo, another guy who we know very well by now. Who was on it again this time, perfectly organized also and totally in control. Unfortunately, he had to pay some sats for the transaction, but we'll make sure they come back into Bufo's pocket. And within these rings, there were node operators from Canada, Holland, Japan, South Africa, Belgium, and Germany.
Nice. So everything's done and dusted again, Steph. Thanks. And let's go to the Lightning notes.
Connectez le monde.
Make sure to secure your home network. So change default passwords and use 2-factor authentication where possible. And keep your software up to date. It's also very important. Please keep in mind that the whole Lightning network is very experimental. Software like MyNode, Umbrel, Raspberry Blitz, for example, and many others, and LND also, are still in beta phase. Don't blindly run terminal commands on your node if you don't understand them yourself, and especially when prefixed with sudo. And the last one is also very important. Don't use Satoshis that you're not willing to lose. So if you're not aware of all security considerations, then read into it. Educate yourself, read articles, ask for help in Telegram groups with high reputation like ours, and listen to podcasts and learn by doing. Otherwise, don't participate.
Also, you can stay informed by following us on Twitter. You can find us at Satoshi Radio ROF and follow our lightning leader, Jonī Kyasshu. Join our Telegram groups, Satoshi Radio, Ring of Fire, and Connect the World. And check our website, satoshi.radio. It would be nice for you to be part of our Amboss community. You can find us there on Satoshi Radio. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Use Podcasting 2.0 to listen to Connect the World. And you can check SATA trading for the current value. You can find all this information, of course, also in the show notes as well.
All right, let's get on to the show.
Verbind de wereld.
Welcome, Jared.
Yeah, Jared, how are you?
Hey, and you guys did already recorded a quick talk, so you guys obviously you know each other, and we just met Jared.
Yeah, indeed.
And I was thinking, well, it would be nice to drink a pint of beer with Jared in Amsterdam in October, but you aren't attending. How come?
It's just, it wasn't on the plans. And actually, I should be celebrating a friend's bachelor party, potentially down in Austin. So making 2 visits, one in August for BitBlock Boom, and then one hopefully in October if we sort the scheduling out.
Yeah, because I saw there are a lot of conferences in the end of the year, right? In November and October. Yeah, so yeah, you have to choose, of course, but we will definitely miss that beer.
Yes, we'll have to schedule something because I should make the trip over the pond and then maybe like a little stream as well.
Yeah. Or we have to, Edward, also, because we are connecting the world, right? Yeah. So we have to. We also have to travel in order to complete. So
Canada isn't that far for us. I don't know.
Well,
I was thinking about
if you take the boat or the plane, you know. I mean,
no, I was thinking about the bicycle pedaling in the water in Amsterdam and then going across the pond with it, but. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a
little bit of a different pond.
You did visit Amsterdam before, right, Jared?
Yes, I probably 2006 or so. 5,
it's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Cool. And just as a tourist or work related or?
As a tourist.
Okay.
And it was something you liked or?
Well, I had an unbelievable time. It was a beautiful city. Met lots of great folks, but like anything, memory is, malleable and changes over time. And it was so long ago that I feel like anything I would say, but it's like I have glimpses of amazing experiences. But over those 5 to 8 days that I was there, I'm not, I don't have too much more to add.
Oh, it was very short. Yeah.
I just got a taste of the city. It's hard to really, unless you live there for a while, it's hard to really say that you know it.
Yeah, of course, but it isn't that big, right? I mean, if you compare it to major cities like New York or something. I mean, in Amsterdam, if you rent a bike, you can see the whole city in half a day, right? So, but to really taste the city, I can agree with you that you have to take it
live there for a month or something. Then it's better.
Yeah.
And I listened to a Twitter space the other day, a couple of weeks ago. And your coworker Jake is a musician, right? Or also plays music, or I don't know.
He writes music. He's a musician. We also have Rick on the team, who's an audio engineer by trade, turned software developer.
And I was thinking, do you also have some kind of creative talent or something? And that is monetizable with Mesh, of course.
So I don't know if I'll promise it's a talent, but I taught myself how to be a photographer and was doing like time lapses and lots of photography for my past travel company. So I'll let the jury's out. You can take a look at the stuff I created, but it was, I'd say going out at like 4 a.m. to get like a sunrise in Quebec City in minus 30-degree weather in the winter. Whether it turned out good or not, I put in the time and effort to make it happen.
Oh, Canada is of course amazing with the nature and to make real landscape. So yeah. I'm a photographer, so I would definitely would like to see it one day. No, it's great. I mostly do weddings, so that's totally different. But a landscape with a couple, I just love it. So Yeah.
It's nice to hear you keep talk so passionate about it, Edward, because
Yeah, of course.
I always hear you have to work like 24 hours in one weekend. And I think, well, there are almost only downsides to it, right? And you always are so passionate about it. So
it's just a magnificent day for lots of people, and you really, it swallows you in it. So it's like you know the people there for ages, but you just met them. So that's that's my other half.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, Jared, maybe you are a singer or something, because
he looks like a singer.
Yeah, you look like a singer. So I wanted to propose to you that you would like to sing something for us, but unfortunately, it's just photography, right?
I don't think it would be fair to anyone listening. I know you don't cut anything out, so let's not even try.
That's why you asked before the recording. Nice. Hey, we obviously invited you because of Mesh, an amazing project. Connect the World and Mesh already work together a bit, so that's also nice. But before we start, maybe you can maybe you can elaborate a bit about Mesh. What is the idea behind it?
Sure. So and also I didn't say thank you for having me. It's great to chat and share this with everyone who's listening, and hopefully we'll add some entertainment and some interesting new things that people hadn't thought about before. So our focus is we want to remonetize the internet. So that's like the high level mission, is because when we look at people who create apps, tools, content, and experiences, it's been very difficult to monetize. You sort of rely on ads, you rely on like occasional donations, doing something else, or subscriptions, which don't fit lots of models that actually provide tremendous amounts of value for people. And so what Mash aims to do is make it the easiest way possible for someone who creates an experience to monetize it, whether it's through their community, interaction, engagement, in a value for value way from their audience. So the other side is make it the easiest way possible for those users to actually support the creators, the builders, the developers, the projects that they love in a way they feel is fair, in their control, and not have money locked in. It's just their money and they can use it. So the parallel that we sometimes use is sort of turning the internet into an arcade where you just have quarters in your pocket and you can use them how you want, but you're not stuck with Chuck E. Cheese tokens. You just have money. And that's why we're building with the Lightning Network only.
Nice. Yeah. And only that's also very important, of course. Hey, cool. And I wanted to ask you something about your background before you work with Mesh, but I heard you work for Google. And it wasn't the best experience, or, well, that's what I heard. But what was the most important lesson that you learned while working there?
Oh, I'm curious where you heard it wasn't the best experience.
I don't know.
Maybe I said something. So let me say, I had a great time at Google. There was lots of really great people there. I learned a ton. And now I'm forgetting the question.
What was the most important lesson you learned there?
I would say if you want to get something done, you just sort of have to make it happen yourself. Because especially at a big company or even anything in life, you can get caught into the politics or the approvals. And, there is that saying of, say, do something, then apologize later. It's even like, assemble a group of people to all do it together. Like if you need to do something, you sort of make it happen. But then also, if you can't make it happen there, leave.
There's always a reason to not let something happen or to not go through with something. So it's a nice.
Yeah, but we have to go through with this recording, of course. So
of course,
if you don't mind, because I really want to ask Jared a lot of questions about Mesh, but also about his vision on the Lightning Network. So if you guys are ready, then we would like to enter the 21st of the 21 minutes, guys. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. Yeah.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Nice. Let's do it.
Conecta el mundo.
The first question is easy. Now, let's talk about Lightning first. If you look back to the last years of Lightning development and have to look 4 years in the future from now, where do you think we are with Lightning by then? As an infrastructure or something else?
So I think if you look maybe even a year ago, I thought am I too late for this? Was my initial reaction when I started exploring, like, oh no, we're at the point where the tech and I think the infrastructure is starting to get built out to make it easier for people to use and build on. The protocol and like implementations are hardening, and now it's about building, use cases and experiences and onboarding and all of these different things with Lightning. And so I think we're past this early phase of make it work and start making it easier for people, then showing all these net new things that you can do with it. And so then you take it. And so like today, it's like we have 100 million people that have access to Lightning, whether it's different exchanges or using different wallets, but they're not using it actively every single day because they don't necessarily have the use cases or the need, because they might not be in a country where they're using Bitcoin Lightning every single day in their transactions. Yeah. So the way I see it over the next 4 years is with exponential growth is a very long time. And so you could, and it also could be, it could diverge a lot. So do we have billions of people using Lightning every day? That's absolutely a possibility, but I can't predict the future. So I think if the right people are building the right things that provide amazing experiences, we'll get there.
Okay, cool.
All right.
And maybe a more easier question for you then. But what is it that you miss now in an important feature on the Lightning Network nowadays?
So I think there's let me maybe answer this two different ways. One is as, let's say, an individual who wants to run a Lightning node, manage it, use it in my own way privately. I still think it is rather difficult to get up and running, trust your setup that it's going to work and operate, be online, not turn off, manage channels. I think there's, both in communication and the language that's used, like there's all these fancy terms that if you show up, it's really, really hard to do. And I'm pretty technical, and I still have nodes, like I have two nodes in the back that they're making way too much noise. So I turned them off for this. So there wasn't like a buzzing in the mic from all the way behind me. But I think that's something we need to make it really easy for individuals to get started, get going, and just, in a trustworthy way where they trust the software. The second part, let's say, is as a, at MASH is making it as easy as possible for people to have Bitcoin and Lightning, whether they're using like a managed service or between services. I still think that there's lots of regulatory challenges there that make it really difficult in lots of countries to just get people onboarded versus like go to exchange, KYC, hope that they have Lightning, then send it somewhere else where you can use it or send it to your node. And so fixing that, I think, is really important in a variety of ways.
Cool.
And, well, you talked about it a little bit, but do you envision a future in which Lightning will be used worldwide as a medium of exchange? So, of course, with MASH, I think it's a yes. Yeah.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No. And then to go on, I thought, what do we need to get there to really use it as a medium of exchange? Is MASH then the answer to it, or something like MASH?
So I think we all need Bitcoin. I'll start with, we all need Bitcoin to succeed in terms of being the monetary asset for the world. At least for a store of value or savings where things sort of get priced in it for all of us to, for a variety of reasons, which I'm sure you've talked about at length. So I'll skip my rant on that lens. And the real question is around medium of exchange, which is used for lots of different types of payments for different things. So you could take the lens of, am I paying at my grocery store or for food or at a restaurant and just daily expenses? And, I think we'll get there. That's not the world I live in. And I think that's a tougher shift for most people. Now, do I see it as a medium exchange for the internet for all these new things? Absolutely. It's the only technology that makes sense for this to actually proliferate. So if you think that the internet's going to radically change, it's going to be Lightning and Bitcoin. If you don't believe that, I don't think the internet's going to exist in its funded disinformation state that it is today.
And have you ever bought something yourself using Lightning, and more important, your own node?
Yeah, so definitely. I'm trying to think of what I bought at the Bitcoin. It was probably like a beer or a coffee or something at like Bitcoin
the
Miami.
Best thing you could buy, right?
Yeah, I was paying. What was it like? I guess I was playing games with Lightning a while ago with what was it, Lightning Poker like 2 years ago, and when I was testing things out, lots of random things, or like an article on y'alls a while back. And then there's all these things that I don't want to like shop my book or what we're doing at Mash just yet, but I pay with Mash, which is Lightning, for experiences every day, whether I'm demoing it, showing it, or want to engage with some content. So the answer is yes.
Cool. And you run 2 nodes. I mean, you just told us that there are 2 nodes behind you. I don't know if you run more, maybe more than 2. But what implementation do you prefer at the moment? So maybe LND or Core Lightning or.
So I have a My node and a Get Umbrel that just simplified the process for me. With Mash, we do use Voltage amongst other things, and I tried Voltage as a consumer as well, maybe a year ago. Now, I don't use them enough to say I have a strong preference, but I find that I sometimes have overheating problems with one of the 2, but I don't want to say which one, and I don't want to. I think we need as many node implementations as possible to help push things forward.
That's absolutely right. Well, the next question perhaps also is about the interoperability of Lightning implementation. What's your vision about it? So the Core Lightning, LND, Liquid, and Async, for example. Will that be very important to use them interoperability in the future?
I think of interoperability as a cornerstone or one of the most important things with Lightning that's needed for it to succeed. Otherwise, you can have some sort of capture by one company. Of course, there'll be competition back and forth. People will then fork that and do different things, but you need interoperability. But there's different levels and I think layers to Lightning. So you have like the core bolt spec and then expansions to that, whether I don't want to bring up certain like blips or things that people really want from one implementation over the other. I think because I don't know, I haven't gone into the technical details to make a valid, have a valid opinion on the trade-offs. So there's that part. Then there's, okay, do you have like WebLN for talking to an extension, and is that going to be adopted? Do you have LN URL for a variety of different things? And those are outside of actually the node implementation, like the bolt spec implementation. And should work across all of them. So there's like different levels of support across Lightning, then built on top of it. But taking away that piece, should like a Mash wallet talk to a Blue wallet and be able to send money and pull money from each other all the time? Absolutely.
For example,
or should, like, and you could take that for all of them. The second you start having closed, walled gardens, or this app can't talk to that app, it can't send money between the 2, or it has some special thing that now blocks it, you start to get into challenges. I think you go away from the ethos of Lightning. Now, that being said, if you only rely on what exactly exists today with a specific protocol spec that is in one way, then you don't get great UX experiences, and you sort of get trapped in the scan a QR code for lots of things. So there's a spectrum of what is open and what's not, and what's interoperable and what's not. Now, we've built Mash to be able to try and plug in anything to it, but making that work at scale is a very, very, in a production environment, on decentralized network and fast, is very, very hard to do. So we're working our best to help push towards that vision.
Yeah. So the wallets are very important, and then perhaps a user in the future doesn't know how it works, but it works, and it uses a lot of technology that exists today, perhaps. Yes. And Nostr is a new protocol for decentralized social media. Can Mesh be an ideal use case to work with Nostr? Because we were thinking like because Mesh is of course usable to tip, for example, a message, or to pay for a picture to see, or for video. So perhaps for decentralized social media, it would be awesome if such a thing could work together.
So I haven't dug enough into Nostr to say an absolute yes. Mash is the best thing for Nostr. We should all talk, and we'll make it work. Now, what Mash does is we want to help facilitate payments between with Lightning between a consumer and a creator, and whether that creator is just someone who's posting things on social media and you're doing payments back and forth through invoices on Lightning. Absolutely, that's something we can help with. Now, for the specifically which implementations and how. I think that's a conversation I'd love to have if they're keen to have it with me.
All right.
We will get you in touch with ViaJob then.
I'm game.
Hey, and how did you come up with the idea to start Mesh?
I had this light bulb moment. No, so that didn't happen.
Well, it could be.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I think there was lots of if I think of my, touch points or career experiences, there were lots of sort of happy accidents or things that sort of molded it all together. Then, continuous learning throughout. So I was selling things online back in the late 90s and dealt with 30% credit card charges. I had to deal with mass refunds for a different product, and they didn't even know how to process them. So I saw all of that. And then dealing with payments at Google, I did a bunch of work there, sort of in the BD strategy side. You could see how many issues there were with fees or onboarding people with wallets and intermediaries and making it not work globally. So I saw all those challenges with payments. And then you see Lightning, it's okay, that fixes this part. Then there's the disinformation piece of the web and the search cost that people have and how they can't find things that they actually want and can trust. Both myself as a user and talking to people, you would see you want to find the best speakers or the best X online. It's good luck. It's just affiliate farms. And it's only getting worse, especially with AI and how that's advancing. And then the last piece was just talking to people who create these amazing experiences. And they all bring up what's the number one problem: monetizing the experiences. I'm not an 1,000 True Fans person. I'm not going and selling an educational course for $10,000. That's not what I'm doing. I want to give experiences to a broad group of people. Or a lot of that came out also with people create little apps and tools. I wish there was a JSON converter that actually worked. I wish that I could play Sudoku puzzles from the Cracking the Cryptic guys and didn't have to buy an app for $20. Can I just play per game and get super tips from them? Or contribute back and forth without it being a minimum $10 purchase, or subscribe on Patreon. So I just looked at all the problems, and then it was, how do I piece that together for a solution? And then learn through conversations and build sort of what people want. Not necessarily they design a feature or a product. They say, here's the explicit problem, and we try and come up with the best solution that works for everyone.
Cool. And how does the implementation exactly work? And how can users start using the Mesh wallet?
So if you create an experience or have an app or a tool, you can basically take a little snippet of code, create an account, create a snippet of code, and now you have a wallet that users have on your site. And then you take other little pre-built components, and you can charge for different things, whether it's to unlock content, to access a video, whether it's to boost tip, like micro tip as you spam click, or to vote things up and down. Or you could also just build your own. We have an SDK. So basically it just says, do people pay or not pay? And you set your own pricing, and you can build anything around that. So you can charge for any event or experience however you want. Nice. So if you have that game, want to charge per play for Sudoku, just wrap it with this and away you go. The other side is, okay, I'm a consumer. I want to support these amazing experiences. You go to the site, you go to the place where that is. You log in, you will be able to load it with Lightning if you already have it, or buy a wallet and get a bonus of the exact same amount that you bought the wallet for with Bitcoin Lightning enabled. And now you can use that on those experiences. You have the same balance across any site with Mash. And if you don't like Mash, you send your money wherever you want, to your node, to your exchange, to your wallet. And there's no download, and it works on mobile and desktop. So we just have this little widget. It's a widget wallet.
Go to connecttheworld.live and you can try it out yourself. And I don't know if I'm now messing up stuff, because I don't know if it's live already. So we have to check with Ramon, the guy who is building our website, and maybe I'm getting a lot of stress to him right now. But I tried it myself this morning, and it was amazing. You see just like a brief intro of an article we have there. And if you want to read more, automatically the Mesh wallet pops up and says that you have to create an account, and it works fantastic. So I think, Ramon, if it isn't online by then, you have to be sure it is online, because you need to check it out.
And they really can try it out. And what kind of options do creators have at this moment to monetize their content? So to make it tangible, some examples of the variation of content.
For sure. But I will first say that if it's not live on Connect the World, Ramon's actually going to fly me down to Amsterdam and I will do it over beers. So it might get really messy, the implementation.
You can sleep over at my place. It's no problem. You can code all night long.
I love it. I'm in. Making it. Let's hit a few. Let's say creator types. Let's pick one. One is I create these little tools, whether it's how much to, like, I want to get the best advice for trading options or for trading stocks. Like you put in your stock ticker, you say what you're trying to do, and it spits out like a straddle technique or a laddering technique or a call option. And it gives you cool graphs. Maybe you want to do a few different things. That's a premium version. So you have to contribute with a small amount of money for each usage, pay as you enjoy. You can layer Mash onto that and now charge usage-based pricing for an app, but not for everything. A meme generator, avatar tool. If you want to have the best laser eyes creator of all time, you can do that. Or like to get outputs of like code explanation. So there's all these little like widgets and tools that have never really had an option to monetize that now you can wrap it with Mash and you can do it that way. Let's say you make the best content or how-to guides for X. You could now say some of these are free. Some of these are paid for, and we'll serialize them. And then if you answer a quiz, you get a discount, and now you pay as you're enjoying the content, but you still get a taste of what it is, and you get some free per month because you always want people trying it and coming back. Another example could be, I want to shout out on Connect the World. I'm going to put this form on my Connect the World site. Sorry, I'm like selling you a feature, but everyone's listening to Connect the World, so they know. So I'm going to put this form that people fill out on the site. And it says, you fill out your name and then you say, hey, I want to get a shout out. You click a little button. That means you contribute X. You put in your name, where you're from, a few little details. And then the form will get sent to a special inbox or email to you after payment. And then it's verified and away you go. And it's just on your site in your control. You don't have to rely on another tool. You can do the same thing with like a voting widget. What topic should we talk about next? Where should we, which conference should we go to? Should we fly to Canada or should we stay in Amsterdam? And so you can have like, sorry, I can go on rant. I can keep on going on this. But you can do, let's say, like one of my favorites that we don't have just yet that we want to build out is like donate as you go. Let's say you have something that isn't necessarily paid for. It's not there, but you want people to support you as they enjoy it. I call it like it's sort of like the Wikipedia problem. People actually don't donate. Like, I feel like the 98% don't donate and 2% do is sort of a little optimistic to get people like social proof, to get people to still donate with the guilt. Yeah. Imagine instead of saying, give me $10 right now, which I actually do every year, it said, how about you donate us 2 cents per Wikipedia article you read each year? Up to $1, then we'll ask you again. What conversion rate, how much more money in donations do you think they would get? And now layer that to all these other sites. Should I keep on going? I can keep on going
totally
for hours.
Well, one interesting thing, because in the Twitter space you did with Nate from Voltage, you shared some interesting examples for a musician also, that he or she could have some kind of donation jar that fans can fill. And if it has a particular number, extra bonus songs could be released instantly. That's also a great example. Yeah. And it seems like that more monetization is mainly archived through an increase of interactivity and more contact with followers or fans. And is it true that it's just as important?
So more interactive solution. So it increases the interactivity between fans and creators to have more conversation about the content.
Yeah. So I think what with Mash and with Lightning in general, what you now have is you've reduced this minimum payment amount. You've reduced this like commitment barrier to get involved in X, whether it's like consumption. So like, let's break it down. There's like consumption stuff, which never was monetized, whether it's like a mod for The Sims or all those apps and tools I was talking about, or articles or guides that are serialized where you can just start trying and paying as you're enjoying it. That's consumption based, which I think there's an entire new option there that wasn't possible. But then there is the interaction based and community driven. Yeah. And those are in many ways also all net new. And so like you were talking about, like the community jar that unlocked the new bonus content, like those types of experiences, it always used to be like donate $10 and then you might be able to watch this song. Instead, it's like you can have people like spam clicking for like 5 cents at a time, watching the bar go up until you hit the goal and then it unlocks, and you could do a whole live event around it. And so I think all these things are really cool that you're streaming money. It's never been possible to stream money any amount. And like, if you come up with something, like let us know, because we're building all this stuff, and we're working with people who are building out stuff as well on top. So
the possibilities are limitless, right? So
yeah. Ooh.
And it would be amazing if Mesh, as a product, will be able to help creators into the Bitcoin and Lightning world. How important is it to make your product as easy to use as possible and with the best UX to achieve more adoption? Because maybe it could get to that. That would be really nice, of course.
We need to make it the easiest way possible for people to earn money and do anything with monetization. This ticking's getting loud. So that's a huge focus for us. We're trying to make it as simple as possible, even if they want to plug in nodes and do different things. And so, yeah, I think it's critical.
And what are the future developments you're working on? Just in time.
Yeah, we need to know that.
Yeah.
The secret stuff.
The secret stuff. I feel like I can... do you actually want me to answer it for this podcast?
Yeah, why not?
I'm trying to think.
I asked the question within the time, so you know
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I thought the gong meant, and the ticking was like getting me really, really like excited there. I was like nervous.
He was just squeezing it in, Steph. So great.
So I think a lot of those experiences that we were just talking about, like the voting widget or like the boost button and the tip jar, we're building a lot of those out so that it's going to be plug and play for anyone to use in a variety of different ways. Now, that might not sound like what are the secret features. I guess the secret is like we're going to be building all of these in like different templatized way where people can just drop in something, get something out, and then apply it to their experience and site. Now, I guess there's not really too much. There's not too much that's like super secret. Like we're doing, like we have these ideas of like, if you know someone who messes around with Arduino robots, where we want to have a robot talking to Mash that people can use, and like we could have it in your podcast, and like people in the audience in the live stream could do things, and it messes with the ticker, or it gives you more time. Like those are things that we've explored, but we're not there yet in terms of like who would want to use it, understanding the solutions that we'd want to create. But it's there, and so. That's the super secret one that my team will probably get mad at me for sharing. Because they want to build these robots.
That sounds great. Really nice, to talk with all those creators really gets all those use cases out there. So I think that's very interesting for the future. We failed to get all the answers to all our other questions, but maybe we'll get to that another time. If you want to be on our show another time, that would be really great. And well, I'm just reading this. No, it's okay.
Conectado Luma.
Yeah, because you wanted to say, Edward, that we still have one question left, right?
Indeed.
But we first have to play our beautiful jingle. So now we have one question left for you, Jared. You thought you were finished, but you aren't. So I still have one question left for you from Alexandra. And she is the CEO and founder of Advanced Tech Media and host at the Advanced Tech Media podcast. So Edward will play the audio file, and then Jared, you may answer it.
There it comes.
Yeah, so I understand, let's see, I guess, what are the barriers right now between where you're currently at and mass adoption?
So I wouldn't say there's necessarily barriers beyond us executing and creating amazing products and solutions, but we're very early in our journey. So mass adoption is it's like a number of steps far out. So I would say our first thing that we have to do is help, people who create and build amazing things earn 10, 20, 100, 1,000 times X more money, earning their value and providing consumers a really beautiful, magical experience that they're happy to be, supporting these different creators and builders and understanding what's going on. And I think that's the big, not barrier, that's the challenge for today. And then it's, okay, this is working. Now, how do you scale it rapidly and help people get access to it? And I think that's a whole host of other challenges that that while it's in the back of my mind, it's not what we're thinking about right now.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. And next time, Jared, we have a new guest, and his name is Christian Queiroz, and he's the general manager of Bitcoin Magazine. We want to ask him also a question from you. Which question can we ask him from you?
Sure. How do you best get people who aren't really into Bitcoin just yet to engage with all of your amazing content, articles, and experiences to help them become Bitcoiners, given that the name in the magazine starts with Bitcoin that might throw them off first?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. No, it's a great,
Have you guys met once, Jared?
I don't think so, no. Maybe that was too aggressive of a question. I was trying to be a little journalistically sleuth. I can ask a different one, a softball.
No, it's fine.
No, this is
perfect.
great.
It's perfect. We will ask him next week. Thank you.
And why I was hesitant before was because we also record after talk. So we just save those questions for later and then get some secret answers to secret questions.
No. Perfect.
Helt knut. Well.
Yes, thanks for this part, Jared. It was amazing, man.
Indeed.
I really love the energy. So thanks for being on our show. And where can people follow you? Can you maybe share your website, obviously Mesh, but also maybe a personal Twitter or something, whatever you want?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me. It's been a blast. I feel like my cheeks are hurting from like laughing and enjoying. So.
It's the same with me.
Well, if the people can't view the extra, of course, because the Mesh widget doesn't work, then we have another conversation. It would be different.
For sure. Wait, I gotta show my stuff, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
We got so you can see our website at getmash.com. That's the best way to get started, especially if you're a creator or builder or developer, because we do have an SDK and a bunch of API stuff coming out. If you want to follow me or anyone else on Twitter or like the team on Twitter, just go to @getmash, and I am Jared NXX JARED, and I'll keep on going just because you haven't stopped me yet. If you want to try out some early experiences with Mash beyond just connect the world, you can check out the future price of Bitcoin at prophecybitcoin.com. It's a joke site, but you pay a few sats and you find out some interesting facts with some jokes embedded in. And the last one that I'll say is mashingmonsters.com. And it's our NFT creator where you create one of 1 trillion plus NFTs for a few sats. You can right click and save your JPEG. And it's from a local artist here, Hyen Lee, who actually did all this stuff like with physical items and created all this artwork that we think is really awesome. So
great.
Cool.
I will say, sorry, maybe this is an after talk comment, but I was wearing a Mashing Monsters shirt at the Bitcoin Miami conference. And I think people thought I was shilling NFTs and were giving me like dirty looks. And it was like our jokes website. I just thought they looked awesome. So I am not an NFT seller for anyone who's listening.
No, but the people who listen, exactly, because you did the air quotes, but that's only in the video. But we are also on Spotify, of course. Now people also think that you're selling NFTs. No.
You're buying images.
JPEG. You can save a JPEG.
To save a JPEG, maybe even a PNG if you pay a few more sats.
Oh, nice.
Well, and if you want to test it out on our site, Mesh, also possible on TDM.news. That's the right part for the Daily Moon. It's part of connecttheworld.live. So if you're there, then you can find it. And thanks to everyone for listening. And thanks for all members participating in the Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire, of course. Thanks also to everyone helping us to connect the world. If you like our content, please support us in our mission. Visit our website, like I said. Use the widget. There you can also donate us and subscribe, like, and share our content on your favorite platform. We need you to complete our mission, connect the world. So keep those nodes running, sats flowing, and rings burning. And see you all next week with Christian Queiroz on the same Lightning channel. Arrivederci there, Jared.
Adios.